Hi, my name's Belinda and I'm the training lady, and today I would like to show you how to use the Morph transition in PowerPoint. Now, I have found that a lot of people have seen this type of effect in a presentation before, and a lot of people automatically assume that it is a type of animation, when in actual fact it is a slide transition. So what we're going to do in the example first up is I'm just going to use a picture, and we're going to have it so that it looks like the presentation actually zooms into a portion of that picture. We're then going to have it move to another part of the picture, and then we're going to have it zoom back out to 100% so we can see the entire photo again. Now that's going to happen across 4 different slides, and we're going to go ahead and set those up now. So all I've got here is I do have PowerPoint open with a new blank presentation. Now the first thing I'm going to do here is I actually don't want any text or anything on this one just for the demonstration, but I'm going to go and change my slide layout. So I've just on the home tab, and I'm going to go click on the layout button and just quickly change it over to a blank slide. Now, the next thing I need to do here is put a picture onto the slide. Now, an important thing to know when you're putting pictures in is you want to make sure that the image that you're using is a high enough resolution so that it's not going to appear blurry when you're watching the presentation back. So as a little bit of a good guide, any image over 1920 pixels in width will fit nicely and be a really good resolution for a monitor or a TV or a screen. So I'm going to go to my insert tab on the ribbon. I'm going to go to pictures, and I'm just going to choose that I've got it on this device. And all I've got is a stock library image that I got off the pexels.com website. So I'm just going to go to this device. Now I'm going to go straight to, I've got a little folder here with the photo in it. So I've got a Morph folder. And there's my little graphic I want to use. So I'm just going to go choose that and insert it onto the slide. Now, one of the things about this is that even though I do have the correct width, depending on what aspect ratio, what size slides you're using, because it is different in different countries as well, you might need to do some cropping of the image. So what I'm going to do here is you can see I do have some space down the left and the right side of my picture. I'm just going to close the designer ideas on the right hand side here. And what I want to do here is I'm just going to move this over to the far top left corner of the slide. Now, what I can do then is I can resize the graphic, and I'm just going to use the corner resizing handles. You can see here on the bottom right corner here is my cursor, and I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. Now you'll see it will end up having some of that picture will be hanging off of the slide area. Now, a little good guide that you've got here is if you look back to the navigation pane, you'll see slide 1, and I can actually directly see where the edge is, and I can see which part of the photo is showing within that slide area. But if I scroll down a little bit here on my slide, I can actually see that there's still more picture there that I can't see up in a little preview here. So I know that some of that's being cropped off. Now, if you did want to correctly crop this, you can, when your picture is selected, go to your picture format tab, and you've got a crop button here. Choose that. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to crop from that bottom edge. So I'm just going to move my screen down a little bit so I can see it. And I'm going to get my cursor to that point where I've got that little T icon. And I can click and drag up. Now, if you're watching the background, you will be able to see where the edge of the slide ends up being shown. I can see it's just in between the hands there. So I'm just going to move my cursor to that spot. It kind of will snap to the position. And if I let go and I allow that to be my new cropped area, you can see the section in gray that's going to be removed. I can then hit the crop button again. And that picture has now been cropped correctly, so it's fitting perfectly on the slide, and I don't have anything sitting out over the edge of the slide anymore in what we call the scratch area. This gray area around the edge of your slide is called the scratch area. Now that picture's sitting perfectly, so that one's all ready to go. Now what I want to do is I want my presentation to start off with this picture in full view. So this is what we're going to call 100%. Now what I want to be able to do is zoom into maybe a corner or maybe a section or even just a specific object on the slide. So what I'm going to do here is we need to duplicate this slide. So I need to make a copy, because remember this is a transition and you will need slides that it can transition between. So over on the left hand side here in the navigation, I'm going to right mouse click. And I am going to choose duplicate slide. And this is going to make a copy of the slide for me. So what I want to do on the second one is I need to now make the focal point the part where I want it to zoom into. So I need to pick something on the picture or just a section of the screen that maybe I want it to zoom into. And what I need to do now is I need to make this picture really, really big so that the part that I want it to zoom into takes up the slide. Right, so I'm going to make this massive, and what I'm going to do to make this a little bit easier is I'm going to zoom my slide area out. So you do have your little zoom tool down the bottom right corner here. So if I zoom that out, and I'm zooming it out quite a bit because I really want to make this easy to see. Now what I want to do here is I'm going to resize this picture and make it really big. Right, so I'm going to make it much, much bigger than the slide area. And you can see there's a little bit of a ghost effect in the background where I can see the edges of the slide. So what I'm going to do is zoom it right in. So essentially I'm going to have it that those two plants are almost going to be sitting in the middle of the slide. Now you can't see the slide kind of little ghosted effect anymore. But if you have a look over on the left, you can see now what part of the picture is sitting in that slide. Now I want those two plants to sit in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my picture up a little bit just so that the plants become a little bit more in the center in terms of the vertical alignment. And I'm just going to keep moving it up a little bit. And now I'm really happy with that. That's what I want it to zoom into. So the slide 1 is going to be my starting point. Slide 2, what I can see in that now is going to be what it zooms into. And this is another reason why having a high resolution image is important. All right, so that's my second slide done. I'm going to have it zoom in or morph into that top left corner of the picture. All right, let's do our third one. So I'm going to again duplicate that last slide. So I'm going to duplicate that. I'll end up with 2 of those. Now on the third slide, what I want it to do is I want it to move from the plants in slide 2, and I want it to kind of move across to show the coffee or a cup of tea, depending on what you think it might be. It could even be a hot chocolate. But I'm going to have it move to that part of the slide. So I'm going to have to drag my image now so that the bottom right corner of the picture, and I can see again, I'm just looking for that background. And then I can get it to sit in the bottom right corner. And you can see in the left-hand panel again, yep, I can see that cup is sitting in the slide. All right, so that's great. I'm going to have it go from slide 1, zoom into the top left corner, then zoom down to the bottom right corner. And then what I want it to do lastly is I want it to go back to that 100%, so back to the original view. So rather than having to duplicate slide 3 and then reposition the picture, etc., all I'm going to do is make a copy of the first slide. So duplicate that first slide, and then I'm going to drag it in that little left-hand panel, drag it to the very bottom. Right, so it goes into position 4. Now we've got our 4 slides set up now. So what we want to do now is the time that we can apply the morph transition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select slide 2, slide 3 and slide 4. Now how I'm doing those all at the same time is I'm actually holding down the control key on my keyboard. All right, so again, if you select slide 2 by itself, then hold down control on the keyboard, select slide 3 and slide 4. You've got all 3 of those selected at the same time now. And what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go to the transition tab on the ribbon. And the very first transition type, other than none, is the morph function. All right, so go ahead and click that. What you should see is you'll get a little star appear underneath each slide number. That lets you know there's a transition applied. So now we've got the morph transition applied to it. We want to see what this looks like. So I'm going to go back to click on slide 1. Now, generally when I want to start up the slideshow so I can see what it looks like and preview it, etc., I do use a keyboard shortcut. There's a couple of different ways you can run a slideshow though. So you can do it from the slideshow tab in the ribbon. You can see that you can choose to go from the beginning or from the current slide. You also, as a quicker way, in the bottom right corner near your zoom slider, you have the slideshow button there as well, so you can run the slideshow from there. But I always press the function F5 key. All right, so I'm just going to press that on my keyboard. And there is my slide has appeared in that very first slide where it's 100% at the moment. So what I'm going to do here is to get it to then morph to the second slide, I'm just going to click the mouse. And you can see it zooms into the 2 pictures of the 2 plants. If I click another turn, it's going to now morph me to slide 3. There we go, it morphs down to the cup. And then one more click will morph me into slide 4. And then I go back to 100%. So that's your first idea of how you can use this morph transition. So I'm just going to escape out of that now. So press the escape key on the keyboard. That gets me back to my original 4 slides. Now, the next thing I want to show you is another technique you can use with the morph transition, and that's where you can have an image or an object on the slide actually morph and change into something else. So in the example that I'm going to use here, I've got 4 different images, and rather than just moving from different parts of the image around where we had that little animation kind of effect, what I want to do is have one image change into another image. So kind of like, the caterpillar changing into a butterfly, I'm going to have the images morph into the next image. So for this one, just to make this nice and simple, I'm going to go and create a new blank presentation. So quickest way of doing that is a keyboard shortcut. So Control N for new on your keyboard. And again, I'm going to change the layout to blank, and I will close down my designer here as well. Now what I'm going to need is because I have 4 images that I want to morph between, I'm going to need 4 slides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to position the images into each corner as I go. So on the first slide, I'm going to have my image 1. On the second slide, I'll have image 2 and so forth. So this is slide 1. So I'm going to go ahead and insert another picture. And again, I've got them saved on my device. And I'm just going to insert my first flower photo. Okay, so flower 1. Now it goes in really big. The designer will pop up some options in terms of layout for the slide. I'm just going to close that. Now I want to make this quite nice and compact, so it's going to fit into the corner. Now if you wanted to make these all the same sizes, you could absolutely do that. I've got my picture format tab is open, and I can see that my width currently is 10.56 centimeters. I might just change that down to an even 10. But you can see I've just positioned it in that top left corner. Now I'm going to go in and put in another new slide. Now if you want a little shortcut for this, Control M, I always just say it's Control M for more slides. That will put in another slide for you, and you can see it's mimicked the same layout as the previous, so it's another blank slide for me. And then I can go insert picture again, and this time I'll put in flower number 2. Now same deal, I'm going to make it the same size, nice and easy, 10 centimeters, and then I'll move it to the top right corner. Now I'm not worried about being really precise about positioning. Obviously you could play around with that as you were working with this. But now I'm going to go and repeat that now for the 3rd slide. And the 4th slide. Okay, so I've now got my 4 slides set up. Now, the next thing I need to do is I need to let PowerPoint know that I want it to actually change between the different images. And the way we can do this is that your images or your objects that you put into a PowerPoint actually have a little name on them. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the names so that PowerPoint knows to essentially move between the 4 different images. So what we're going to do this is I'm going to go and make sure that we're on the picture format tab here. And then you want to go and open up what we call the selection pane. So it's just a button here. So go ahead and click that and it opens up down the right. Now I'm going to go ahead and make that nice and big. Now I do want to go back to slide 1. All right, as you can see now, there is an object on there and there's one object. And this is why I like demonstrating this on a blank slide, because you don't have other objects on here that's going to cause a bit of confusion about which one's which. Now, what we're going to do here is we want to rename all 4 pictures to have the same name, because at the moment they do have different names each, and therefore they're going to be kind of used independently of each other. So to name this first one, all we have to do is click on the actual picture. I'm going to double click into that little name field where it says picture 4 at the moment. Now here's the trick. You need to put the name in with 2 exclamation symbols at the start. So all I'm going to do is go exclamation, exclamation, and then call this flowers. All right, and then hit my enter key. Now it's not going to do anything on the screen. You're not going to see a difference yet, right? But I'm going to go through and do that to all of my pictures. So choose the second one, click into there. I'm going to go exclamation, exclamation, flowers, take out the old name if it's still in there. And do make sure you're precise with the names. because otherwise if you've got the spelling wrong or anything like that, if you use an S at the end on some of them and not on the others, then this won't work. Right, so make sure your naming is accurate. Okay, so all 4 of my images now have that same name. Now what we want to do is now we need to apply the morph. So I'm going to go in again, select slide 2, 3, and 4. Go to my transitions tab and apply the morph function. And let's now see how this works. So again, I'm going to run the slideshow. I'm just going to press F5 on my keyboard. It's going to open up to that first picture. Now I'm going to click the mouse. That will morph me to my second picture, and you can see that little changeover happens. Then I'm going to click again. My second picture should now morph into my third picture. There we go. And then my last one, final click, morphs from the third picture to the fourth picture. All right, so I can escape out of this now. So I hope that gives you a really good idea of how you can use that morph transition. It is a really neat function within here once you understand that you do have to have the different slides set up for it to morph between. But that gives you a couple of ideas on how you can actually utilize that. Now, if you've got any questions, don't forget to pop them below the video. The full instructions and step-by-steps are actually located on my website, and the link will be in the video description. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this useful, and if you're interested in seeing more of my content, then please subscribe to my channel. Have a great day, everyone.